everyone! Today we're going to be doing two related experiments looking at copper versus lemon juice versus steel. So first off, we can see the materials that we will be needing today. So we'll need a plastic cup, a bamboo stick, 4 packets of salt, a paper towel, a couple of dull pennies, a couple of steel nails and paper clips, and a single lemon. The first experiment that we will be doing is cleaning pennies. First, we will have to cut a lemon into 4 halves so that it's easier to squeeze all of the juice out.
Please ask an adult to help you with this part, as knives can be very dangerous.
And now we will start squeezing the lemon juice out. So there's the first lemon part. And then there's the second lemon part. And then the third. And finally the fourth. And now we have ample amount of lemon juice in order to conduct our two experiments. Next, we will be pouring 4 packets of salt into the lemon juice. We will stir the salt into the lemon juice so that the salt is more evenly distributed. The next step will be to finally put our pennies into this salt and lemon juice solution. So as you can see, the pennies that I'm holding up look dirty. So why do they look dirty? Everything around you is made up of tiny particles called atoms. The copper of a penny, for example, is made up of copper atoms, but sometimes atoms of different kinds join to make molecules. Copper atoms can combine with oxygen atoms from the air to make a molecule called copper oxide, and thus the pennies look dull and dirty because they are covered with copper oxide. You can see that the pennies become cleaner almost the moment they touch the lemon juice and salt solution. So why does this happen? Copper oxide, remember the thing making the pennies look dirty, dissolves in a mixture of weak acid and salt. And in our case, lemon juice is the weak acid. You can also clean your pennies using salt and a combination of another weak acid such as vinegar and orange juice.
Now I will be taking all 4 pennies out.
Please do not throw this lemon juice away. You will still need it for experiment 2. As you can see, I put 4 pennies into my lemon juice and salt solution. So now I'm going to wash 2 of the pennies .
And the 2 remaining pennies will not be rinsed.
In picture, you can see 6 different pennies.
2 of the pennies have not been rinsed. 2 of the pennies have been rinsed.
And 2 of the pennies are untouched. They were not put into the lemon juice, and they can be used for comparison. You can see that the pennies
that were not rinsed
have a slight blue-green substance on them. So why did this happen? Lemon juice and salt dissolve the copper oxide layer, as I explained previously. This makes it easier for the copper atoms to join with the oxygen from the air and the chlorine from the salt. And this forms a blue-green compound called malachite. Remember that lemon juice that we used previously for cleaning the penny. So I'm going to be putting a paper clip, a metal piece that you can find in your kit, and a screw into that lemon juice and salt solution from earlier. Now you can see that there are bubbles forming around the 3 metal pieces that we put into the lemon juice and salt solution. And I'll be explaining shortly how these bubbles form. Why did bubbles come off of the 3 metal objects? Each water molecule is made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom. In an acid like lemon juice or vinegar, lots of hydrogen ions are floating around. In the chemical reactions at the surface of the nail, some of these hydrogen ions join and form hydrogen gas, and that is what the bubbles are made out of. Now I'm taking the 3 metal objects out of the lemon juice solution, and you can see that they are considerably darker than they were when I put them into the solution. The nails have become darker because they are now coated with copper. When you put the pennies into the lemon juice, the positively charged ions of copper from the penny are left behind in the solution, and ions are basically charged atoms. When you put the nails in, which are made out of iron, the positively charged iron ions are also released, leaving the nail with a negative charge. And we know that negative charges attract positive charges. So the copper ions are strongly attracted to the negatively charged iron nails, and thus the nail ends up with a copper coating. And you can also see that there's some residue left in the beaker. This is the grand reveal, the final results after a few hours of waiting.
We can see our 6 pennies, the 2 that were not rinsed on the top row, the 2 that were rinsed on the middle row, and the untouched ones in the bottom row. You can see that there is a lot more of the blue-green substance, the malachite, on the 2 pennies that were not rinsed, and the 2 pennies that were rinsed are significantly cleaner than before we put them in the lemon juice. And you can use the bottom row, the untouched pennies, for comparison.
Here are the metal pieces that we put. So first of all, we can see the metal piece that you can find in your kit. The top piece was put into the lemon juice solution, and it's definitely a lot darker than the untouched metal piece. And we can see the same thing happening with this iron nail and also these paper clips. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I really hope that you learned something from this video and you can try it out at home.